Hey, this is Sarah. I am going to encourage you today with finding your strength as a songwriter. I think this is very important because with social media always out there surrounding us, it's very easy to find insecurity in who you are and what your strengths are. When we look around, we see the best of everything. We see, the best that's work that someone's done writing a song. We see reels that are showcasing the songs they write in their beautiful voice and all the things that they can do. And sometimes it kind of makes, I know for me, me doubt how God created me to work as a songwriter. So I just want to encourage you that for years, I struggled with insecurity of just seeing people do it all and realizing I couldn't do it all. And I felt over and over God was calling me to step into songwriting, to write songs for Him, to just enjoy something that He gave me a love for. But I kind of held myself back because of all the doubt that I had. I listened to the enemy's lies way too long instead of the truth of what God told me, which is He gave me everything I need to be in the calling that He's called me in. So I just kind of want to talk very basically about some strengths in songwriting and let you know that whatever strength that you have in songwriting, that is more than enough. God has created you perfectly for what He has called you to do. And sometimes it's just a matter of understanding what that is, which helps us be able to move forward. So very, very basic. Basically, we have melody writers and we have lyric writers. Now, in the melody writers, we have all kinds of melody writers. There's not one right way or wrong way to do it. But, melody people are just people who are just love making music. A lot of times they're musicians. They play an instrument well. Sometimes they don't. You can have melodies come in your head and not know how to get them out. That's okay too. In a write, I've seen melody people bring in little bits of songs and that they've heard in their heads. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, I woke up in the middle of the night and this little melody was in my head. So I hummed it into my phone. I just wanted to share it. Sometimes they're taking a walk or just doing anything. And these songs just pop up in their head. Maybe they don't have words, but they definitely have the melody. There's other melody writers that I see that will sit and write and they'll just kind of watch as the verses and the chorus shape up. They kind of feel a rhythm, a cadence of the words. And as they're reading through them, they just kind of feel a melody that builds along with the words. And that's cool too. It's kind of fun to watch. You're typing up words and then you're seeing this person pick up their guitar, sit at the keys and just read through the words and start humming, start singing these words out. So there's multiple ways. I've been in writes where the melody person is getting all excited as they're like, oh man, when I use this for church, I can hear these drums coming in here and this is the guitar part we're going to do. And they literally can build the whole band in their head because that's what they hear when they hear a melody. And I think that is awesome. I wrote for years and years and years, just lyric. And then I got in a room with melody writers one day and it was just fantastic to watch them do what they do well. And then there's people like me who are more lyric driven. There's so many different ways you can be a lyric writer. There's people who just can have conversations and they just pour out content and they're sharing their heart. And then a writer like me who just loves piecing things together like a little puzzle will sit and just start typing things up that they're saying and be like, oh man, that sounds like verse. And wow, that'd be such a cool chorus, and just start shaping up just the words that they're saying into a song. There's other times where I'm literally the one spilling my heart and somebody else is shaping it up. So lyrics can just go either way. It's just kind of sometimes depending on the people you're with. Some people hear verses at a time. They just hear all these words come together. I have a writer I write with sometimes that she just has the best hooks. It's not the whole song, but she'll come in and just have these fresh ways of saying things. And it usually becomes the title of our song. So however that works for you, it's okay if it doesn't look like the other person. We all do it different. But we have, like I said, there's more melody-driven people, more lyric-driven people. And lyric people can write melodies and melody people can write lyrics. But that's just kind of giving you an idea of the two camps that you usually find people in. There's also, I wanted to mention, it might not sound like it's a strength, but to me there is strength in there are internal and external processors in a write. Everybody's going to be an internal processor and external processor. Internal processors are great listeners. What a strength that they have. They take in all that's going on in the room. They listen and listen and listen. And in their mind, they're thinking and processing and Sometimes they're typing it at the bottom of the Google Doc so you don't see till they figure it out. And sometimes they're just thinking it. And man, when they finally speak up, it's just amazing. The things, they might not say a lot, but the things they say are usually really important. An external processor, someone who's just spilling content, man, they just think out loud. I'm an external processor. And a write is like, man, these ideas come and you're just kind of like talking through it. And it's really fun when you get a couple external processors in a room because there's a lot of talking. But the strength of them is you always know what they think. You can hear what they're thinking. You can kind of flow with like, where are they at in the song? Internal processors now have to be careful because you don't usually know what they're thinking. And so that can sometimes like make you wonder like, okay, what's going on over there? So an internal processor has to make sure that they share what they're actually thinking when they get the chance. And external processors have to make sure that they give space to the internal processor so that they have time to think. I mean, an external processor could talk through the whole write, no problem, and still be able to write. But we've got to be very careful to allow the internal processor to think so that they can come up with the things that they're good at coming up with, the deep thoughts. It kind of reminds me of 1 Corinthians 12, when it talks about the body of Christ being many members, but all of them have, like, together are the body. That's kind of how I see people in the songwriting world. You all have different skills you have, and separately it doesn't always make sense, but when you come together, it's a beautiful offering to God. One other thing I want to say is a strength is being a great encourager. Whether a melody writer or whether you're a lyric writer, there are people that walk in the room that just are so good at encouraging. And I love to write with someone who's a great encourager. I mean, they're like a cheerleader in the room. They champion your thoughts and they are excited about how the song's coming together. And maybe that's not like a quote unquote songwriting skill, but it is such a strength. And it just makes a write such a joy to be part of when you have an encourager in the room. So lastly, no matter how you write, just know that, you can always grow. It's important to grow in your craft. From the time you start writing to the day you stop, you should always be learning something, growing, getting better. But just know that the strength that you have, the skills that God has given you are enough to do what He has called you to do. I just want to remind you that because I think that's so important to remember. And just never doubt that. And, surround yourself with people who maybe are like good at the opposite thing as you. And you're just going to start seeing how you grow as a writer because of it. You allow them to grow. You learn to work together and great songs can be written.